Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Well, I'm Don Burns. We're here at Cohatch. Thank you, Cohatch, for letting me use the facility.
Thank you, Cohatch.
We have Ashley. I forgot your last name.
Troutman.
And you are representing
Northwestern Mutual.
Northwestern Mutual. And that's like personal finance, investments, retire early.
Yeah, we deal with wealth management and overall engaging in the financial planning process for individuals, but we also operate within the business of an individual as well. I would say sitting at the seat of their business planning team. So sometimes that includes making sure that they have proper benefits, making sure that they're looking ahead about how they're going to succeed or leave the business, how they will leave it well with succession planning, and then also making sure that key employees are taken care of as well. So we also have that side of the business as well, but the majority of the time is spent working individually, one-on-one with folks and understanding the vision that they're casting and how our products and services can help them achieve that goal.
Fantastic. So making sure that all the employees are happy and the benefit package, that if they accept it, that everything is together, that everybody's going to be happy. You're going to provide the service of being an employee, and you're going to provide the service of benefits and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have strategic partners in that area, so I'm more of a handoff in that particular part of the business. But again, most of the time our team members engage in the planning process with the individual client that we work with.
Wonderful. And how long have you been doing this?
I've been in the industry itself for close to 20 years now, but on my own for about a decade, building my clientele base. And I made a transition about 4 years into the Northwestern Mutual organization, mainly because of the reputation of the brand. And as a financial advisor, oftentimes we want to associate ourselves with a reputable brand, but also want to have the best tools that we can leverage for our clients as well. And Northwestern Mutual provided that for us.
Yeah, I'm a client of Northwestern Mutual myself. I did a bunch of research, and actually on my life insurance policy, I went with another company for the first couple years, and I wasn't happy. I mean, they were charging this and charging that. I was like, I'm gonna look into that. And so I let that lapse. And I actually waited another year or two, and I did my research, and it turns out Northwestern Mutual was number one.
Yeah.
I said, why wouldn't I want to be with the number one?
Yeah.
They're gonna, if God forbid something happened to me, they're gonna pay the policy.
Exactly.
And it's mutual, so everybody's involved in it.
Yeah.
So I like that brand, even myself.
Yeah. We're very dominant. The brand, I should say, is very dominant in the risk management space. One of the best carriers out there, as you mentioned, over $280 billion in assets that in the general account. So they're solvent, has the highest credit rating out in the marketplace. Now, as a Northwestern Mutual affiliate, I have the privilege of exclusively offering those products, but then we also are not limited by our agreement to only represent Northwestern. So I'm actually a broker for a number of other carriers as well. But oftentimes I'll lead with Northwestern because, as you stated, 95% of the time it's the right solution for most of the clients. And when it doesn't fit, we have that ability to not transfer, but to place them with a different carrier. But we also the brand itself is also top 5 in assets under management as a whole. So we're right up there with LPL. If you're a Lakelander or a Central Florida person, you'll probably recognize LPL as being the partner that Allen and Company recently transitioned to. So they transitioned to be in the space that we were in technology-wise. We were ahead of places like an Allen and Company just from a technology standpoint. Not to say that their advising services were terrible or anything like that, but technology-wise, the things that their clients had access to, we were already in that space, having the ability to aggregate different accounts on their client website, and having electronic processes in place That's where we were, and that's, again, we're right up there with the best of the best when it comes to the wealth management side as well.
Yeah, the world is going digital, AI, all of this software that can manipulate and find exactly. So you having a bigger toolbox, Northwestern Mutual, this one, and you can get to any client's needs. I mean,
Yeah.
any client that comes in that wants to believe in you,
Exactly.
have got the tool to take care of them.
And as I recently met with a guy, a business owner here in town, I mean, this particular conversation comes to mind because I shared with him, I said, I have blind spots. Even though it sounds like I've been in the industry for a while, and on my own for a while, I still have blind spots. I'm limited. We all are limited. But the opportunity that I have is the ability to partner with people all across the country that are a part of the organization as well. Some here in town, but I can call on people all up in DC somewhere sometimes if I need support in a particular case or whatnot. So that's another thing that makes it unique, I believe, as well.
Yeah, that's the mutual part of Northwestern Mutual. Everybody wants to help everybody, provide the services that are needed and recommended. So tell me more about Ashley. Where are you from? Are you originally from here?
Yeah, born and raised. I'm somewhat of a unicorn, as people tell me at least. But whenever I tell them that I was born here, I was raised here, I live here, I work here. I've never lived anywhere else. They look at me like I'm a museum artifact.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm looking at you that way right now. I'm like, holy Toledo.
But I always follow up and say, man, I can show you a lot of artifacts if you want me to. It's a ton of native folks that are still here. A couple business guys that are very successful here in town. Sometimes you'll find that their families have been in here for generations as well. But what I hope that that doesn't mean is that the only way that you can be successful is that you just are born and bred here. Hopefully that's not what it sounds like. Hopefully that just shows you that when people are here, they care for the community, they care for this place, and they just want to stay and try to make it the best place they can make it.
Well, it's nice running into you because I know you're a resource, but you've already established yourself, and on a personal level, I know that you are a known person in town and a valuable resource in any area.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you as a future mayor myself. I don't doubt it at all. We're going to have you as a mayor, and I got you before. I had to interview you before you made it. Because tell me you have aspirations in the political realm.
Well, let me back up for a second, because when you asked me about myself, what's constantly ringing in my head is the fact that I have not mentioned some of the most important people in my life, and I'll come back to your question.
Let's do it.
But my wife, I am married. My wife is also a business owner herself here in town. She's involved in skincare and wellness coaching with clients. She's big in the health and wellness arena. She's also been a realtor for, I believe, the past 6-7 years as well. And we have 2 children, 3 and 1. So my wife Kia and I.
A new daddy.
Yeah, it gets a little rough sometimes, but we love them. Bryce and Ellis, 3 and 1, are our sons. My wife has told me that the factory is shut down, so she's not having them. So
that's what I told my wife too. That's enough too. Yep.
So those are important people to me. So I just want to make sure I mentioned them.
Priority 1.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more priority than that.
Exactly.
I believe that 100%.
Exactly. And of course, being a native here, I do have siblings, two other siblings, and nieces and nephews, cousins. My mom and dad still live here as well. They're both in their 70s now, still going strong. It seems like it, but so yeah, I have a long history here in town. One of the people that have influenced me quite a bit over the years is a gentleman by the name of Gal Fields. I worked for him for about 6.5 years prior to going out on my own. And so I always tell people I would not be honest with you if I didn't tell you, if I told you that my time with him didn't influence me, because it did. When that opportunity or when will that time be, I'm not quite sure. You know, to engage in the public service arena, but we'll see. That's something that my wife and I talk about whenever certain opportunities come up. Is it the right time? How does it impact my family? How does it impact my business? And those are kind of the priorities that I look at it through. Are we healthy enough in those areas to take on that extra responsibility? Because it's a big task, and it is something that does impact those areas. So you just want to make sure certain things are kind of shored up before you do it. At least if you want to do it well, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
if you want to take it serious, and
yeah,
I'm 100%, without a doubt, family's priority one. When you don't make family priority one, in my opinion, you're off track.
Yeah.
Everything is after that. I mean, God first, but family life and priorities is number one. And that's why, because I was a maintenance man for 20 years, repairing dish machines and washers and dryers, and I did not do anything social, anything that would take away the priority of raising my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter just graduated high school a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
And now's when I get to play a little bit, and that's when I started I Am Lakeland. Now I get to play for myself. My kids are still my priority one, but because they're now a little bit older, they're gonna start taking care of themselves and whatever, but they're still up there.
Yeah, what school did she graduate from?
She just graduated from McKeel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and my son graduated from McKeel a couple years ago, and he's at Polk State, and she's gonna go to a school called VAMP in Orlando, and they create cosmetology school, prosthetics.
Okay.
So she wants to get into that. We just went to Toronto and she did this lip lab thing where you get to make your own lipstick. So she's really into all of that. She's
very cool.
Having fun.
And you talk about a resource. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here in town that are that try to create their own products in that area. So she could possibly partner and
that's right. Yeah. She's got her own following. She's got like 8,000 followers on TikTok. She's blowing me away.
That's cool.
She's got a big following. So back to your wife and her business. What is the name of her company?
Healing Hands.
Healing Hands. Because I ran into you at the table when she's been there, and you've been out there too. I remember.
Yep. She had I think she at the time she had curated a wellness box. She called it a spa box, but she curated some items from local and regional makers and put these items in the box together. And she was at the time I think she was promoting that retail item of her brand. But she spends a lot of time with her hands, healing hands, caring for people's facial needs, and there's also some other stuff. I won't get in that because I'll mess it up. But just
I'd love
know
to
that
have her.
if you want to relax in time, if you are having a hard time sleeping, if you need to understand how to have better gut health, which impacts your energy. My wife is a very great resource in that area.
And she has a website, or?
She does. I'll mess that up as well.
Okay.
But just
Healing Hands. Looking for it on Facebook in Lakeland, Florida.
And follow her on Instagram. She is on Instagram under Healing Hands.
Healing Hands.
And also Kia Troutman, Holistic Coaching, I believe, is also another one that she's under.
Fantastic. And she does that. Is that a side job for her, or is that?
That's her main thing.
Besides the babies?
Yeah,
the
besides
newborns?
Exactly. Besides our sons, her main thing is her business is the next thing that she does. She's slowed down a little bit on the real estate side because of just the energy that it takes, and wants to be in that space of calm and peace, but she still services clients that refer her.
What brokerage?
I know for a while she's been with La Rosa Prestige.
Okay.
Is what I'm aware of.
Fantastic. Well, if we can get customers for you, how would they contact you?
So the easiest way to contact me, we all have smartphones.
Yep. And if you're not in the smartphone, you're behind. There's no doubt about it.
And so with smartphones, if you go to ashleytroutman.nm.com, there is a website that pulls up, and people can go to that website.
Does it research for you? Research
You
you?
can do a little research on there. I'm actually
Fantastic.
working on putting some new things on the website.
Okay.
But there's the website there, ashleytroutman.nm.com, has the address, has my office number on there, has what I like to call a value proposition. It's the first thing you'll encounter when you come on there. But then there's also information about my team. You get an understanding of the folks that help me deliver on the promise to our clients right now. And then you can look at other tabs in there as well, products and services, planning, what that process looks like. But then, not most importantly, but also as important, there's a schedule a meeting button. If you just hit schedule a meeting, it opens up my calendar and it shows you.
I think a lot of people going that way.
3 days out, how you can get on my calendar. That's a very easy way to do it. And of course, you can also, even though I have this technology, I'm pretty old fashioned as well. There's nothing wrong with a phone call. Ashley, I can be reached on my cell at 863-661-0414. 863-661-0414 is the cell number. Call, text, I'm available. I probably won't answer after a certain time period, typically after 6, if it's business related, but we'll get back to you right away after the next day.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate your time very much. I got to meet Gal.
Mm-hmm.
I met him on 2 different occasions over there at the well.
Yeah.
And
yeah, great guy.
and they named that that bus stop parking lot. He got that name on there.
Yeah, I was there that day.
Oh, you are?
Mm-hmm. It was a big deal. I know he worked quite a bit on the when he was on the commission and also served as mayor. He was I would say he was the go-to person at the time when it was related to transit issues. I think Lakeland is further ahead than most cities in Polk County because of the transit-oriented development policy that they have. What that means is whenever a existing structure is repurposed for some reason, that part of the impact fees that the individuals or the businesses will pay when they are repurposing that structure is for a bus stop to be added into that near that facility. So that's why you started to see more bus stops along the way over the years, is because of that. And if you go to other cities, in Polk County specifically, they probably won't have that as many because of that particular policy that they implemented years ago. And he was one of the champions for that.
That's awesome.
And there's a number of things that he was known for in that arena as well. But things like that is why you see.
I went to Toronto for vacation, and the public transportation was incredible. You can get from one place, it's like almost like Europe. They know what they're doing, mm-hmm. and that is so important that people are able to get where they need to go and want to go. So having that infrastructure here in Lakeland is great for our future.
Sure.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, definitely the groundwork. I mean, the ground floor is there. It has to be built upon, obviously. I've tried to ride the transit system myself during a work day, and it was fun to do it, but it was also challenging as well. The gaps in between along the way, as far as the timing that it takes to get to the next from the bus to come to that stop. I think they run like every 30 minutes as opposed to every 10, like in some areas. But I made it work between Uber and the Citrus Connection.
Oh, you cheated.
And
you
Uber
cheated
again, and walking.
You did that thing, you used Uber that same day, and you call
Yeah.
that public transportation?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep. I did Uber from the house to my first meeting that morning. Then I walked from the coffee shop to the bus terminal, and I got on the bus, rode the bus around town until I got out to Polk State College. But because the next stop wasn't until we got into downtown Martinsville, I had to get off there so I can make my next stop. So I called Uber from there, and they took me to my next stop.
A lot of people don't get that opportunity.
Yeah. So we made it work. We made it work. It was just a little.
Yeah.
We had to piece it all together.
It shows the holes that maybe need work in the future.
Yeah.
I remember, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was a kid growing up in Hamilton, Ohio, I used to take the city bus. And to this day, I remember climbing up on the bus and putting my quarter and my dime in.
Mm-hmm.
And we got on the bus and he pulled a thing. I talked to somebody, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and they said it was like $2 or $3 now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it being 35 cents for the public bus. Do you know how much it is? How much it is now?
I have no idea.
It was a couple bucks.
Yeah,
$2 or $3.
Yeah, $2 or $3 still, I believe.
And it was a nickel for a transfer.
Mm-hmm.
You put in 35 cents, and I said I need to go to further. It was a nickel.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that as clear as day.
Yeah.
And I know that's not like that with inflation and all that today.
Yeah.
It's tougher and tougher on the people who can't afford to pay car insurance, the car things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's definitely a reality that we live in, and it's something that I'm aware of every day. I mean, the work that I do, talking to clients about the increase that they're experiencing on their cost of living, repair costs. Talked to the gentleman yesterday, and he need to get a disbursement from his investment so he can pay for repairs around his house, and how he thought the cost was going to be here, but it ended up more than that. So it's definitely a reality, for sure, that we deal with every day. And whenever we see all those changes in the marketplace, like that oftentimes will impact the conversation that I'm having with clients as well, because it creates fear. It creates uncertainty, but like I shared with someone recently, the most important thing that myself, or if it's anybody, any other advisor in that space, the most important thing, if they're doing it the right way, that they can bring to that moment is just clarity for them, reminding them about what their goals are, they're long term, they're not short term, like this momentary setback, and because of that, if these are still the goals, then we just need to continue to move forward in the plan. And so being that clear voice for them in that moment is what it is that we bring. That's the great value that we bring whenever you're working with an advisor, whether it be me or anyone else that's in the marketplace. That having that person you trust and respect in that space is important in those moments. For sure.
Especially with a toolbox that's wide. And it shows even more importance with inflation. When you think it's going to be one price, ends up being a lot more. That shows the importance of planning in advance anyway. Mm-hmm. So the more you plan, the more you take your personal finances serious, the easier it'll be when you do have that house repair, when you do need to pull a little bit out, you've got more available. So it does show how important it is to plan in advance for your personal finances.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate it very much, Ashley. Is there anything else we can do to promote you? Because, like I said, I promote everybody.
I mean, anyone that you believe we could be of service to. What we're finding a lot, Don, is that the people that we're able to impact and help the most right now are, especially as the team grows, are those individuals that are just getting crushed in taxes, and they're looking at opportunities to create some taxation optionality. What we find that who those people are typically business owners that are really successful and making a great income, and really growing in their revenue based on their business. We can help them the most because they have problems that we have solutions to their problems that they ordinarily don't have access to, because it's it's not always the run-of-the-mill solution, right? And there are certain products that people that are under certain income thresholds have access to that they no longer have access to. And so we can bring solutions to those taxation problems. So as you're out and about and you're meeting successful business owners that are, again, just knocking the cover off the ball and doing really well in their business, we just might be able to be a resource to them.
That's fantastic, because you're working, you got your business, and you wanna save the money and the time that you put in. Why give it to the government? I mean, pay your fair share, but you don't need to give more than your share.
Yeah.
So take those tax breaks that are out there.
Right.
And if you're not aware of them, contact Ashley.
Exactly. And then you also wanna set typically there's a succession to that business that you wanna be thoughtful about as well. Sometimes people are being very successful in their business, but they're running it like it's a small little organization as opposed to this larger organization. And so we want to bring solutions to the table for them that and awareness of their shortcomings, so that they can start seeing this for the great asset that it is, and the generational impact that it can make also.
So do you offer like a free evaluation, consultation?
Yeah, the first meeting is somewhat of a get to know, kick the tires around conversation. It's exploratory, I should say, where we just talk about our process, and then we also learn more about that individual, where they are, where they've been, and where they're going. And in that conversation, we can identify whether or not, A, if we're a good fit to work with them, and B, if we're a good fit to, or if they're a good fit to work with us. Because sometimes we can't help certain individuals, or sometimes the individuals don't feel that what we bring will be valuable. You know, so it's a mutual partner of ways at that point. We do try to get them with someone that may be better for them if we're not the right fit, or the resources to them that we can help them with.
Absolutely.
It's just an exploratory engagement at that point. It's that initial conversation.
Wonderful. Yeah, I call them projects in my mind. You know, maybe we're gonna connect on this project, maybe we're not gonna connect on this project, but maybe another project in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I call them projects. You know, I'm sorry it didn't work out this time, but maybe, and you go back and it was just not the right time, so now is the right time.
Yeah.
It's a different project, so you never know.
Yes, sir.
Well, Ashley, I appreciate you showing up here, and we'll promote you as much as we can. Little content from my site, try to sell a couple of hats, a couple t-shirts is all I do.
Yeah.
So it's just content on my website.
Okay.
You have a fantastic day. God bless. Thank you
man.
so much for your time.
Absolutely.